In continuation to the explanation on the structure, chemical structure of components of DNA and RNA in the last presentation, here the double helical structure model of the DNA is explained. Now here you see there are the two terminologies regarding the presence of nitrogenous base, sugar and phosphate. On one side you see either it is purine or pyrimidine, that is adenine, guanine, cytosine, thymine, whatever may be, joining a sugar on its side. Now the union of these two, purine or pyrimidine with the deoxyribosugar in this case, called nucleoside. So nucleoside is nitrogenous base plus sugar, the deoxyribose sugar. And then the sugar will be joining the phosphoric acid on its side. So there are three components. And the structure with these three components, that is either purine or pyrimidine and deoxyribose sugar and then the phosphoric acid, called nucleotide. So that way you can differentiate these two terminologies. Nucleoside, nitrogenous base plus sugar only, and nucleotide, nitrogenous base plus sugar plus phosphate. So now these three components of one side forming a nucleotide, and the other word you say a nucleotide monomer, nucleotide monomer. So the joining of many monomers on one side you say polymer, or otherwise you say strand 1 of DNA. In the same way, the other side will be having a polymer strand of nucleotides. Now the polymer of one side will be joining the polymer of the other side by the hydrogen bonds. If it is adenine and thymine, the pairing nucleotides, then there is the possibility for two hydrogen bonds connecting this pair of nucleotides, parallel nucleotides. If it is cytosine and guanine in pair, then there will be three hydrogen bonds. So that way there the nucleotides are arranged in two strands and in parallel condition to form a double-stranded polymer chain structure to form a DNA. That's why we say double-stranded DNA is double-stranded structure. That means having two nucleotide polymers joined by the hydrogen bonds between the purine and pyrimidine bases. Now here, usually according to the attachment of sugar to the phosphate of its side, there the direction of the strand is said to be 3-5 direction. Now here you see this is the pentose deoxyribose, pentose sugar. Will be having carbonate position 3 and carbonate position 5. There are 5 carbon atoms. Now here the phosphoric acid of this side will be joining to 2 points of the pentose, not on the same point of the pentose sugar. Now here you see the phosphate at the upper side joining the pentose sugar with the 5th position, and then the phosphate at the lower side will be joining 3rd position of the pentose sugar. Accordingly here, by the direction of the attachment of 3rd position and 5th position of the pentose sugar, you can say the direction 3-5 direction of one strand. and the parallel strand will be having an opposite direction. It would be in reverse. Here you see the pentose sugar is in diverted form, in a reverse form. So accordingly, the third position of the pentose sugar will be attaching to the phosphoric acid at the upper side. And the fifth position of pentose will be attaching to the phosphorus on the lower side. So that way, of the two strands, one strand will be called in 3-5 direction according to the position of the third and fifth ends of the positions of pentose sugar. So they are, even though the strands are parallel, here the position of the pentose sugar attaching to the phosphoric acid is in reverse condition. That should be understood. Because the direction having some significance with the transcription activity, where the DNA will be transcribed into a RNA and then the RNA will get involved in protein synthesis that way. And when we talk about the protein synthesis, we will give the importance of this direction. Anyway, here it should be understood. And then because of the difference in the position of this pentose sugar and its attachment to phosphoric acid, these two strands, even though connected at the hydrogen bond, will be physically available in a helical structure. So that's what proposed by Watson and Crick as double helical model of DNA. And here there are some measurements of the distance between one nucleotide and the adjacent nucleotide as 3.4 angstrom unit. And then for every 10 nucleotide, there the possibility for one turn, one rotation in the helix. Accordingly, here the distance between the 2 points of rotation said to be measuring 34 angstrom unit. And now if you want to say width of this double helical structure, in total 20 angstrom unit. And having an axis to one of the margins, it measures 10 angstrom unit. And also an assignment given for the distance by one purine hydrogen bond and then pyrimidine vice versa. 11.1 angstrom unit. So that way the DNA is physically present in the form of a double helix, and this point of 3-5 direction and in reverse in the other strand to be understood.